Hey, Mayor, can we review plug, kind of
Sure.
see how it did since you kind of talked about it.
Yes, let's do that. So you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. This is unfortunately, stupidly. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. So we have. Okay, so I was tracking plug. I did get into it. I got out of it on Friday. Fortunately, it was made a profit, so it's like, yay, that's always nice. I did have my exit right here. So just an FYI, Andy had talked about that the last time we met, having a get out strategy. At what price am I willing to, or what price do I need to get out of in order to not lose too much? And this was my exit. So it's still on my graph.
Mhm.
But anyway, to answer your question, Peter, it looks like, this thing, let me get rid of some of this. This is too much. Let me just do this clear. Yep. Okay. And I'm going to delete that. It's done. All right. So to look at this channel here, I think there's potential right here, for the stock to come back down to this level somewhere in this realm. And we could do this just for fun. High to low. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep, that's resistance.
Mhm.
And so you see, this is just so beautiful, actually. I mean, look at this. It hits resistance. And it's aligned in the channel. I mean, all of these things are just screaming. If you know what to look at, it's really, really helpful. And so we could potentially come down to, if it sticks within a channel, which I think it probably will, it fell down a little bit here, then went up here. It can come back here somewhere in this realm. It's typically a range. And then if it can break above this resistance, and that's the thing I would look at, Peter,
Mhm.
is wait for it to clear this resistance. Because you just, I don't have a lot of confidence. I mean, if I were to go back into it again, I
Mhm.
want it to close above it a little bit, and if I'm saying if you're down here, if you wait for it to get down here, don't get in here. This is my
Okay.
point.
Okay.
Okay, don't get in there. But if it's down here, I think it's worth considering getting into it, but keep an eye on it. It may not be able to break this, so it could be a quick small trade, a couple bucks worth, but that's decent. And so just something to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that to fall back to the 23 fib level. I bet you it finds
Oh.
support right where
Yeah, no,
right where your pointer is. And
Right.
so if the rest of the indicators, Peter, are looking good, if the stochastics, the MACDs, the RSI, all of that are looking appropriate, that
Mhm.
is probably the right spot. You can jump in there and then get out when it hits that resistance point at 38, or wait and see if it can break through.
Okay.
Yeah, so see right here, if you drew, and what's always a good idea is to look at what was prior, where did it stop? Where did it find its support? And then it kept kind of, was able to launch back up, or where was it struggling and it just couldn't get past it comfortably? Like in these three cases right here, closed here below the line, the 38.2, it closed below the 38.2 and closed below the 38.2. Okay, so this is clear resistance. This is likely to come down here. I just drew this trend line because I noticed back here, the lows were very close. It was similar support.
Mhm.
And so I would look at that and see how it syncs up nicely with that channel.
Okay.
I mean, I think that is something to watch right here on this.
I agree, and I think it wants to break the 38. I mean, it had a really strong
Yeah,
candle there before it fell back, but it hasn't really fallen much, so it still wants to move upward,
yes, exactly.
definitely. So if it finds support right where you drew your line, I think it's likely it'll break the next resistance and could go up to the 50 line, and at that point, yeah, you're making good money.
Yep, and this is probably going to continue that way. If
Awesome.
not, tilt up a little bit as if you get more candles pushing up the upper line here, it's going to tilt the channel up.
Okay.
And so, yeah, anyway.
And if you do jump into this, if this seems to fall down and you get into it at that support line right there, put in your alert, just make sure, watch, it could fall back to the next lower fib. That would be where you'd want to be careful from,
Okay.
I guess, to
Yeah.
make sure you want to make sure it doesn't fall below that. If it falls below that, then I'm really concerned. And so I wouldn't want to lose any money past that point.
Yep.
That's exactly right. What I like is the higher highs and higher lows.
Yep.
Like that, so you can draw these trend lines and you can see, of course, it's aligned really with the channel, but that's what you want. The higher lows in particular. I mean, look at that. They keep going up no matter what. This, again, right here. So anyway, I believe this company has a lot of potential too. So just keep an eye on it. This is probably just a little bit of profit taking, honestly. And the shorts are just taking advantage of that. They will do that. That's what hedge funds do. They'll take advantage of company or stockholders will sell so they can get some profit. And that's what we see when we see these little dips. That's just profit taking. That's not like, oh my God. And this one is just down we go. And that's more than profit taking.
Right.
That's like panic. So anyway.
All right. So, well, now I'm going to put plug on our list and let's take a look at it again.
Yes.
And, at the next meeting,
Yep.
and see where it's at. Maybe we'll all get courageous and jump into this one. It'll hit the sweet spot and we'll all make some money. Right, Peter?
That's true.
Awesome. Are there any other ones you guys want to look at?